This is a Mac Studio M4, and most people are running local models on this Mac Studio or MacBook Pro and getting maybe 15 to 20 tokens per second. Now, with this new piece of hardware called MTPLX, you can take advantage of every single optimization possible, from fan speed manipulation to MTP generation, as well as D-Flash. Combine all three of these, and the M4 Max can hit anywhere from 40 to 50 tokens per second on average, and as high as 60 using dense models like Qwen 3.6 27B. Which in my opinion is the smartest local model that you can run for Apple Silicon within the 32 to 128 gigabyte unified memory range. Now, the biggest difference here is the stack, and that is MTPLX. It is free, it's easy to set up, and it works on Apple Silicon M1 and up. In this video, I will show you how to get it fully set up and running as a server so you can hook it into software such as Hermes Agent. So let's get into it. All right, so the first thing you want to do is navigate to MTPLX's website here and then go ahead and download it from Mac. Double click on what we just downloaded here, and then standard procedure, drag it into the applications folder. Okay, and then let's go ahead and launch this. Now, in my case, this was already previously set up, but it's very easy to get going here. So up in the top left corner, you have your models. And the model that I recommend is Qwen 3.6 27B optimized for speed. This is a 4-bit quantization, and it is also optimized for MTP as well as D-Flash. And if you just download the models that they have here, it'll just work right out of the box. Now, you can go on to Hugging Face and try different models, but if you just want a really simple, easy setup, I would recommend just downloading from this list here. Now, if you wanted even more speed, you could go with Qwen 3.6 35B A3B, which stands for 3 billion active parameters. This is a mixture of experts model, so it actually will be faster than Qwen 27B. However, I recommend using Qwen 27B because it is a dense model, and it essentially is activating all 27 billion parameters rather than a mixture of experts in only a 3 billion parameter active at a time, which is why it is going to be faster. But in my case, I am just going for optimized speed and smartest model possible on my M4 Mac Studio. So let's go ahead and download that. Like I said, I already have this downloaded, and it's already trying to load the model in. However, there are some settings that we need to change before we can get this fully working and fully set up. So for the first time you run this, it's going to ask you if it can manipulate your fans. Now, this is under system, and right now it already has my fans hooked in. It has found them, and it has figured out how to optimize the fans, and it is currently monitoring for them right now. But in this menu here, you can make sure that it is working optimally, and you can also check all of your hardware stats and then make sure that everything looks right, like MTP generation. Yes, we want that. And you can see how much memory your Mac Studio or your MacBook is currently using. In my case, I have a 128 gig Mac Studio M4 Max, and then also what your current fan speeds are. This is very important because when the model starts generating tokens per second, your fans, you're going to hear it. If it's sitting on a desk, it is going to start kicking up, and it's going to be pretty loud. So just keep that in mind. This may be something you want to turn off if you have this thing sitting on a desk and you don't want to hear those fans running every single time there's a generation. Next tab here is the activity tab, and this is just going to give you all of your recent activity that you have used with this model in the past. And then the Forge is if you want to use a different model than the default models. Now, for this example, like I said, I'm just going to be using the Qwen 3.6 27B optimized for speed. But this is a way to use a custom model and forge it in a way that it'll run at the most optimal possible settings if it's compatible. And the most important thing here is the settings. Now, running through this, I like to keep things pretty default. Like, for example, the performance. I typically just set this to auto, However, you can set it to some other options here like fastest response, long agent tasks. But for me, I like just have it on auto, just keep it as a model that is pretty much default for everything. You can mess with the MTP here, which stands for multi-token prediction. Now that is where you're gonna get a lot of your speed here, is the multi-token prediction. And that is one of the coolest things about this software is just right out of the box, it just works with MTP as well as DFlash. Now in this case, I am just keeping this setting off. This is experimental MTP. It's gonna give you some advanced settings if you click this on here, such as decode batch, admission window, and HF download mirror. Now, like I said, in this case, I'm just going to keep it on the default. And then memory cache RAM. So you can set an allocation of your memory cache. So that is actually the fourth thing that speeds up the token generation even more, is it uses your SSD in order to get even more speed. And essentially it's using that as a way to check the context window and cache some of those tokens so that it can refer back to them faster the second time around if it has a similar generation. Next up here is the KV quantization. Now, I like to keep this at Q8, even though I have plenty of unified memory on my system. I have 128. I put it at Q8 because that still gives me a slight speed bump, especially if I'm changing the context window to a pretty large 200K context. Now, this has to do with context window. So you are essentially just quantizing your context window to be a smaller size. So if you have a Mac Studio or a MacBook Pro with 32 gigs of RAM or even 36, you would probably want to use this Q4 if you're trying to push that context window to be anywhere from 100K to 200K in size. Oh, and it looks like I misspoke earlier. This is the memory cache in RAM. And again, I'm keeping all of these settings as default. So I'm just keeping this as target default. And then this here is actually the persistent cache in SSD that I was thinking of earlier. So this takes your cache and it stores it on the SSD for faster cache responses. If it's a token generation that it can refer back to and essentially give you even more speed. And that's what we're going for here. We're going for the fastest possible speeds. And same thing here, I'm just keeping it as target default. And down here, we can change our profile. So in this case, you got auto, turbo, sustained, and performance. Now, I just keep it on auto. Like I said, I try to keep a lot of these settings just default because I think that is going to be the best way to get some of the best generations out of this. And in this case here, you do want to change this port if you're running your Mac Studio as like a server. So in my case, I'm running it as a server that's hosted locally in my house. So this is going to be 192.168.1.149, and I'm keeping this at port 8001. Now remember this for later, this is very important. And then next up here, we have the generation mode. Now we want to make sure this is set to MTP, that is multi-token generation, which is going to be essential for getting the fastest speeds possible. And in this case, your max context window is 262K. So I like to keep it pretty close to around 200K here. And like I said earlier, if you are running on a Mac Studio with less unified RAM, you probably are going to want to lower that context window size, which is essentially just like the memory that it's going to refer back to if you're unfamiliar with context window. The next thing here is the API key. If you are running this on a local host, you'll want to set an API key and remember it for your local host that you're going to be setting up later on. And then these are all the settings I want to keep on. Load MTP head, enable thermal polling. So this is required to verify fan ramp before benchmarks. So I think this is the setting that you can toggle on or off if you don't want those fans to be kicking up. And then start MTPLX when the app opens. Yes, we want to do that. Okay, and actually down here is actually some more options for that fan mode. You can change it from default to smart to max. So max is just going to be running all the time. Smart's going to jump it up and down. I think default is just like the default Apple curve. So if you don't want to hear those fans as much, you probably want to kick it down to default. And then one last setting I forgot to cover because I do not have mine set up this way is the Hermes Agent handoff tools and gateway state. So if you're running Hermes, it'll detect if you have Hermes running on that Mac Studio and just connect it directly. Now, in my case, I do not have Hermes running on this Mac Studio. I have it running on a Mac Mini. So I'm going to be setting up a network portal and be hosting this as a local network server. And once you got all those settings locked in place, we can start our server. Looks like it just brought up a chat. And that's another thing. You can chat directly in MTPLX. So I was doing some testing here, but you can chat directly in this if you just want to use this as just the software itself and not actually running it as a server like I'm going to be doing here. And it does give you web access and you can attach files. So you can just run all of your prompts directly in MTPLX if you want to use it that way. Now, the next set of settings we want to check out is up in this top right corner after we have already loaded the model in. Little settings icon here, and there's a bunch of settings in here that you really want to pay attention to, and we'll run through them real quick. So performance mode, this just calms down the UI so you can get the best performance possible. Now, I keep this off. I like to see all the cool little UI animations and everything, but if you're trying to get like the best possible benchmarks, you can turn on performance mode. And then here's some of my settings for the Qwen 3.6 27B model. These are the settings that I like to use just by default with the temperature, P-top, K-top, presence penalty. You can pause the video real quick if you want to copy these settings. And then reasoning, I keep on auto. So this kind of decides if it needs to think or not. And then running through here, this is your fan mode you can set per model. So right now I have it set on smart. And then you have your draft mode. So this is D3. That is going to be the fastest possible draft depth. And that is the D flash that I was talking about. And you can see that here. It gives you the acceptance rating of your D1, D2, and D3 in order to get the fastest possible speed. So I was just running a quick test here to see if it is running correctly, and it is. And then running down here, you've got your pre-fill, batch step size. I like to keep a lot of these settings on default. And then also the context window. That's the context window that we set in the backend settings. And then also the KV quantization. I set this to Q8 so I can just get a little bit faster performance while maintaining an accurate context window. And you can see here that it's running as intended. Now, I did just hook this up to Hermes, and I'm just going to really quick show you guys how to do that from scratch. And as you can see here, I just hit a 66.3 tokens per second, and it'll tell you your all-time max, which is really cool. So it'll like be like, oh, new record, you got a 66.3, which is so far like crazy fast. And like I said, I'm averaging so far anywhere from like 40 to 50 tokens per second. Now let's go ahead and get this set up as a server in Hermes. Now, in a video I did a few months ago, you guys got after me for using an agent to set up the local model. Now, I think that is the fastest way to do it. You just say, if you have like an OpenAI model set up with your subscription, you just tell your head agent, hey, I want you to set up this agent to be on this local model, and it'll go ahead and do it. And you just say, yeah, this is an MTPLX at this IP address with this port, and it'll go through and do everything for you, which is the absolute fastest way to do this. However, a lot of you guys got after me for not doing it manually in the terminal. So I will show you guys how to do that here. So I just SSH'd into my Hermes instance here, and I'm just going to type in Hermes models, Hermes model, and I'm going to scroll down to custom endpoint, enter URL manually, and we're going to go ahead and type in an entire address. Now in this case, this is a local server, so it's just going to be http:// and then your IP address of that server. And then also the port, in my case, that is 8001, then /v1 afterwards. That's very important. Then I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. It's going to ask you for that API key that you set in the interface. And once you type in your API key, you'll most likely see one model's visible, as you can see here. So that's a good sign. And the next step is to select your API compatibility mode. In this case, we're going to want to go with 2, which is going to be the standard OpenAI compatible servers. And then as you can see here, it already detected our model, the MTPLX Qwen 3.6 27B, optimized for speed. I'm going to type in a capital Y because that is the model we want. Enter the context length. Okay, so I'm just going to type in that 200K context window. Display name, I'm just going to copy this here and just paste it there. So it's the same name. And then it should be all set up now. And what that's going to do, that's going to set a default model. And what you're going to want to do is if you have multiple agents and you just want the one agent on that model, you're going to have to go into your settings, either in the desktop app or within the web browser app, in order to just change those settings really quick. And it's really quick to do so. So let's just check to see if this worked here. So I'm going to go to my head agent. I already did a quick test on this earlier, but I just decided to reset it up again. What model are you running? And now let's go back to our Mac Studio. And you can see here that it is generating the tokens, and I do believe that it has invoked the model. We're gonna see here really soon if it actually figured this out or not. Okay, so quick response here. It's the same answer. I am on Qwen 3.6 27B optimized for speed. I'm gonna say awesome. How are you feeling? If I can spell it, go back to our window here and see what our generation looks like. It looks like it already generated. That was pretty quick. Running fine, no errors, no timeouts, context is clear, not much emotional range on this hardware. Yeah, that's because it's the default agent and I haven't trained it to have any emotion. Please test all tool use. So it's probably going to ask me for some permissions here. Let's go back to our server and you can see that we are running at an awesome 4748 tokens per second with Qwen 3.6 27B on a Mac M4 Pro or Max model, I should say, which is just absolutely amazing for a dense model. And this gives you all of the information, the context that it's used so far out of the 200K, the cache tokens, your memory that it's using so far. It's using anywhere from, it looks like 40 to 50 gig range with my current context window in this model. And also the 5-minute min max on the tokens per second, as well as your average, which right now is looking at 41.4. And then your average pre-fill in tokens per second. That's going to be the longest wait time is when you cold boot this and you're running an average pre-fill and the model is just running off of a cold boot. That pre-fill is going to take a little while. And then also you can see here your acceptance rating on the flash, on the D flash on D1, D2, and D3, and then your full decode tokens per second average down here. So let's go back to our server and it looks like it is still doing some quick work. It's testing out all the different tools, but so far so good. It looks like it is successfully able to use all of the tools. And as it stands right now, the entire Hermes agent is set up locally, which in my case, I like to have like one model running locally, and then I also like to use an OpenAI ChatGPT 5.6 Soul to be my main agent. All right, so it looks like it finished here, and it has mostly good tool use. However, it does look like I need to most likely do some quick cleanup on some of my files. It's like my memory, that's one of the biggest things I saw down here, is at 97% capacity, and that is the max for Hermes is 2,200 characters. And then computer use, I don't think I have computer use enabled, so that makes sense. It looks like most of the tools are working here and the models should be working as intended. So anyway, that'll do it for this video. If you guys have any questions on getting this fully set up, let me know down below in the comments. I'm going to be doing some more videos on the local AI as well as Hermes, any new model updates, so stay tuned for that. Give the video a like if you found this helpful, subscribe to the channel, and as always, have a wonderful day.